Hey guys, welcome to today's presentation. So in today's video, I just really want to go over the type of income that you can expect to generate when you own your own tax business. So today's video is 6 figures in 16 weeks owning a tax business. And I know a lot of you are eager to start your own tax business and you're really interested in learning how to grow your very own tax business, accounting business, enroll agent firm, or even bookkeeping firm. And so I just want to show you what the possibility is with your income, the type of income that you can make. And we're just going to go over a few of my bank statements and the process that I took to actually grow my business. So a lot of you that's already been following me, you know I've owned my own tax business since 2012 is when I kind of got incorporated, but 2013 was my very first actual tax season, and that was for the 2012 tax year. So I started by opening up an actual brick and mortar location. Now, if you look at any of my other training lessons, I teach you that you don't have to go this route. You don't have to open up a brick and mortar location. Honestly, it was just more overhead, more expenses than what was actually necessary. I spent a lot of money keeping up with this building, with the lights, the gas, the utilities, the maintenance. And so I don't recommend you going this route if this is your very first year in business and you don't have an already established clientele. Now, if you've already been in business for a few years or you are buying another tax business's client base, then yeah, by all means, you can afford to get an office, but not your very first year. Okay, so I'm going to save you some heartache and pain. You don't have to go this route. But I was about 23 years old when I started my own tax business, and I just want to go through the possibilities of the income. So here's the actual bank statement for January. So for the month of January 2016, you can see it's Dynamite Tax. This is my actual bank statement. This is an old address, and this was actually my home address. I blanked out my account number. You guys don't need to know that. But my credits for the month of January was $11,000. So for the month of January, typically you're going to get a lot of like your self-employed people that's going to come in the beginning of the year, because those people, they don't have to wait for any W-2s, or typically they don't have to wait for 1099s if they're just a sole proprietor. They normally come in, with their bank statements, their invoices, their cash receipts, and they're normally ready to file their taxes. So a lot of my business in January, and a lot of tax professionals business, if you are working in January, you are primarily servicing those sole proprietors like the first couple of weeks of the month. And then towards the end of the month, you start getting people that come in who actually work a regular W-2 job. They start to get their tax forms, because by law, most employers, they don't have to send out W-2s until January 31st. So a lot of employers, they typically wait until almost the last week of January to send out employees W-2s. So you really don't really start picking up actually doing taxes till about late January. Early February is where it gets really busy. Now for February, I had a total income come in of $26,405. And that's pretty awesome, And guys, this is, I'm not the biggest tax preparer out there. This is just me, one person preparing these taxes. I didn't have any employees. I had an assistant helping me, like, facilitating paperwork and setting appointments, but I was the only person preparing taxes. So for a sole proprietor, having a $26,000 month, that's pretty good. So this is February. Everyone is coming in. They've gotten their 1099s, their W-2s, and you're pretty much, in your office or in your home office, cranking out taxes from sun up to sundown, literally, with barely no break. Okay. Now March, you have more of your retirees start to come in, because now they've received their 1099-R forms. They receive their mortgage interest statement. So you have more of I would say, like, your mature clientele coming in. And then so for the month of March, I made $15,000, which again is still great income for a sole proprietor. A lot of people, the type of money that you're making during tax season, a lot of people don't even make in a year, and so you're making all of this money within a matter of, 8 to 16 weeks. And then you're kind of, coasting for the rest of the year, right? So the month of April, this is where people start to slow up. I brung in $6,000 in income for the month of April. And for my type of clientele, now your type of clientele might be different. I know a lot of more seasoned, I'm going to say, tax preparers, they get a lot of their clientele that comes in March and April. For me, my clientele is a little bit younger. They're more sole proprietors, or they have a regular W-2 job, and I typically get a lot of my business in January and February. So it really just depends on the demographics that you're going to be servicing, will dictate exactly how your income will come in throughout tax season. Now, for the month of May, I brung in $8,600, and so typically these people, they, and I actually teach you how to get consistent income throughout the year with your tax business. But for the month of May, I was able to bring in more people, because a lot of people just, you'd be surprised, a lot of people just don't care to file taxes, even if they have a refund coming, and it's pretty interesting, because I didn't think so many people would delay filing their taxes, especially if they have a refund. But some people just aren't hard pressed for their tax refund. And so they kind of come in as they feel like it. But for the majority of the month of May, these are my late filers. These are the people that would have came in April, but they just weren't pressed, so they came in May. Okay. For the month of June, I brung in $6,600. So again, guys, this is just me, and I'm bringing, six figures literally within 16 weeks of the year, and I'm just a sole proprietor. Most people have to work 40 hours every single week for an entire year with a 1 week vacation, and they still won't make six figures. They probably will make a fraction of that. So owning a tax business, especially putting in the upfront work, time, and investment that it takes to actually grow your tax business, is definitely worth it. This is a business that you're going to be able to keep around for the rest of your life. You're always going to be able to have this type of income coming in. I know a lot of tax professionals, they typically have second incomes. So they typically do bookkeeping, accounting, or I even know some tax professionals that actually have a 9-to-5 job, and they still make $30,000 within these first 16 weeks, which is awesome. So if you have a 9-to-5 and you're able to make 30 grand in the beginning of the year, imagine how the rest of your year is going to go. You're going to be more comfortable, especially if you know how to budget your finances correctly. And so having a cohesive marketing strategy is really what I want to show you, how to get to this level, how you can make, six figures in a matter of, a few months, but then really scale that out towards the rest of the year. It really, because a lot of tax professionals, they don't know how to get consistent business throughout the rest of the year. A lot of accounting professionals, bookkeepers, you guys don't really know how to get consistent leads and sales. And so what I did, I recorded a free marketing masterclass. I'm going to show you how you can double your tax and accounting business in 2019. So the links below this video, go ahead and watch it. It's about 60 minutes long. It's going to be one of the most insightful, 1 hour presentations that you're going to sit through. It's really impactful. You're going to learn a lot on how to actually market your business, especially using social media marketing, because a lot of how I grew my business was through social media. And I teach you the strategies that I use to grow not only my accounting business, but my real estate business and other of my clients' businesses that I've been able to help them have massive success with. So go ahead and click the link below, register for the masterclass. It's going to be the best hour, I'm telling you. And if you have any specific questions that you want to ask me around marketing or running a tax business, bookkeeping, accounting, whatever you want to know, drop the comment below and I will personally respond to you. And I'm pretty sure if it's a great question, I'm going to do a video around it. So asking your questions is going to help me to continue to put out great content like this. And guys, I will see you in the next video.